What's up, viewers, subscribers, old and new? How's it going out there? So listen, right? I decided to, and this is before when I first began doing astrology and everything, like I really did not take the asteroids seriously. Like I would glance over the content, I would browse and say, okay. Wasn't too much interested, right? And, as I advance, I've said, well, I might as well go for it and see what I can learn from this as well, right? I want to learn everything. So when diving into the asteroids, I found out something very interesting. This video, by the way, is going to be based on the 4 major asteroids. And what I found about the asteroids is this. Although you may find compatibility and synastry through the personal planets more than the rest of the planets, however, all the planetary aspects, right, you will know on the surface what deals with the interaction based on those planets. However, when it comes to the asteroids, you will know the in-depth intricacies of the interaction, okay? And this is what I found very interesting about the asteroids. I'm going to explain it to it in depth right now. Let's go. Okay, as you see, I have Ceres, 27 degrees in Aries. That rhymes. Ceres is the goddess of the harvest, the asteroid that represents domestic life, healing, nurturing, and growth. All right, so for me, I nurture myself independently and foster independence with those I come in contact with. You can see this with my companionship level that I've actually constructed on my website. So, that just tells a testimony of this exact. I'm very contact oriented with my partners and like the same, not like in a cuddly way though. Like I damn near tackle chicks with hugs, or I can chokehold them or put them in submissions and stuff like that. If I feel forced into matters of union, I will pull away because it's something I'm self-determined to do. Therefore, it has to be a growth pattern that I build into taking on that responsibility to grow with you in a nurturing way. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like that Aries, that independent sense of self that, I want to be the one who decides on my own to say, okay, yeah, I want to do this with you. I can be combative, with family members to a fault due to a challenging aspect or competition I had with my parents. Now, this is what the logic teaches, right? And personally, I'd have to say that I do sense combat, not competition, with my relatives. However, my combat wasn't based with my parents, but with my grandparents, yes. So I guess I skipped a generation when it came to that. But part of this behavior comes from a protective mindset that I have over my family, but it can get in the way of fostering healthy growth with them. I do understand that. I'm getting better at that, actually. Now, these matters take place inside of the 8th house because that's where my Aries is. So these things are done like in secret or enacted in secret most of the times. Deals with research. So my nurturing is in research. So you can see that. Also, based upon the way that I search for particular foods or how they respond to my body and things of that nature. Psychoanalysis, so this deals with the brain, psychology, and things of that nature as well. You can look into my books and see how I apply that there. Other things that deal with the 8th house, other people, other people's money, secrets, pretty much. So that's how in-depth this goes with Ceres being placed in Aries for me because it's inside of the 8th house. Now, the next asteroid that we're going into is Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena is the goddess of wisdom, which represents intelligence, intuition, peacemaking, equality, and valor. So this is like my warrior placement, all right? This is what my courage is on the line when it comes to this placement. This placement is often influential in the career choice, especially for women. For me, non-violence is a primacy. So violence is the last resort when approaching matters that need to get done. With an understanding of the dark and the light from the ability to walk through the worlds here and the other world, this placement enhances my psychic abilities, which encourages my interpretation through mystic and psychic healing. I did not mention that my Pallas Athena is inside of Pisces. That's why it's coming out sounding this way. The arts may be a channel used to convey messages for people to understand the connection that I have between both worlds. Prophetic and symbolic dreams are common here through astral projections and transcending experiences. Because this placement is in my 7th house, these energies are expected to be expressed to or through my partnerships, business and romantic. Now, next asteroid is Juno or Juno, however you want to pronounce it. Junio, excuse me, right? Because that's the Spanish, the Latin term for it. The goddess of marriage and maternity reflects what the individual expects from a partner. It also can indicate obligations and responsibility. So for me, right, this is placed inside of Cancer, 19 degrees Cancer. So for me, my ideal marital type partner embodies the sun or ascendant qualities of Cancer. So I'd actually be looking for the more sympathetic ear to talk to because of her nurturing responses. Once attracted, she will be enthused to combine in domestic affairs and activities such as cooking and things home related, possibly dealing with real estate dealings. Also, we are bound to enjoy the company of each other's families. Now, this is unless, of course, there is a Mars square or semi-square aspect inside the natal charts. Then it may be the actual opposite of that. Along with this attraction is not only I will be prone to mood swings, but my partner will as well. And I will be expected, even obligated, to deal with her complaints, cries, worries, and concerns, whatever they may be. And she may also grow clingy and emotionally manipulative about me. These matters are also prone to be experienced in my midhaven because I share my 10th house of career, which is on the Gemini cusp, with Cancer. So like I literally, like, Cancer is not in my 11th house. Like, it's in my 10th house, and Gemini is in my 10th house too. So these matters will be taking place inside of my career house. Interesting. Next asteroid is Vesta. The goddess of the hearth was associated with keeping the fire burning in the home. Its placement in the birth chart shows where sacrifices are made for the greater good. So once again, like, this is in depth here, this Vesta placement. I also find this interesting. For me, the way to keep the matters of the home lit, I sacrifice time that would be spent otherwise on leisure and things relative to build. Instead, I use it on things relative to building, which is finances and business plans, and making sure to follow through with those plans despite any setbacks. And that's due to having a steadfast, strong concentration. So while I'd rather be out partying and things of that nature, some of the times, like, I really take the other route and stick to my guns in matters revolving things of finances and the things that I've just discussed. Because the road becomes so focused, I'm expected to dip away from the responsibility for something that allows me to escape. So that may be that occasional party or that occasional getaway, whatever type it may be. And so that I can experience something completely other than the focus for my energy. That was placed inside of this, Taurus energy. Part of me, this placement is inside of Taurus. You can, if you're well versed in astrology, you can already tell, right? Because of the things that I'm discussing. But yeah, it's definitely placed inside of Taurus. I believe at 19 degrees. Yes, 19 degrees Taurus. So these are the attributes that I carry when being steadfast, with endurance and things of that nature. And as I was explaining before, though, like, I will escape sometimes from time to time because it allows me to replenish my energies that is depleted because I use so much focus and determination into the planning and the stuff that I'm doing. So I'm also expected to choose partners with Taurus attributes for their endurance, either in sun or in their moon or ascendant, after analysis. Okay, so let's say I'm surveying different potential partners and mates and things of that nature. After analysis, I'd lean towards choosing a partner who has these Taurian traits. However, I'm expected to share time with others of a complete different dynamic to replenish my energy. The same thing as I do with my my dealing with the home and everything. So all of these this focus that's based on finances and planning, and all of this pertains to keeping the fire lit at home. So I guess when it's relative to the terminology that says take care of home, like, how else can you take care of home unless you're on your job and you're planning things, you're applying those plans and things of that nature, right? So that's what that's about. Now, endurance, however, is the key strength here. And because my Taurus my Taurus inside of Vesta, rather, my Vesta lands inside of Taurus in the 9th house. There we go. I will do near anything to keep the resources vital to life, creature comforts, and matters of the ninth house, which pertains to higher education, travel, divorce, the ability to be carefree, and expansion. So those are what my finances are going to be based upon. And if I have limits on those abilities, like I will go the extra length, I'll go far above and beyond to obtain at least those resources to keep those sustainable. So I can utilize those resources for higher education, utilize those resources for travel, divorce, the ability to be carefree, and expansion.